I attended in the years of 1977 to 1981. It was years when the school was very crowded, over 3,000 students. So it was easy to be left out if you didn't get involved. So while I was here, I was involved in so many activities. For sports, I played field hockey, basketball, and softball. I even did 1 year of marching band. I was involved with student council, Key Club, and National Honor Society. It was unique in our curriculum because it wasn't just one full year of English or one full year of history. You were allowed to choose what was called mini classes. So you could choose things you were interested in. Some of my favorite things that I remember are I had a teacher, Mrs. Azula, who made history feel as if you were actually on the battlefield or in the delegate seat. She just made it so that it was so interesting that you were engaged the entire time. I had an amazing English teacher called Mrs. Stavitsky. Once again, you felt like you were living in the time of The Hobbit or any other novel that we were reading. Very engaging as well. One of my other great teachers who wound up being one of my co-workers and co-coaches in future years was Mr. Kuhn. He was my math teacher, and math can be kind of dry and kind of boring. So what he did was just made it funny. Jokes related to math, just jokes in general, made sure that we were paying attention, and that math became a little bit more interesting and a little less boring. I also had a coach, Nancy Strepko. She was one of my main mentors while I was here. She coached me in many activities, and I was a PE coach, and she kept me really involved in so many things within the building. Because I was so involved in so many activities, I can say that there were so many great memories. The majority of them were the times where we gathered as a club and did activities such as like helping out with people in the community. Other great memories, of course, of playing so many sports were all the bus rides, were things like our pasta parties and, you know, celebrating the victories and consoling each other over the losses. It was a great time, you know, felt like a family with all my athletes as my friends. Now I have to tell you, I was a very good student. I behaved well, of course, involved with sports. A friend and I were called down to the office one day, and we really could not figure out what we had done wrong. Why would we get called to the office? We're like the model students, we're model athletes. Principal sits us down and tells us how disappointed he is in us, and how could we ever think of doing something so terrible and egregious? And we're looking around like at each other like, what could we have done? And he's like, well, this could call for suspension. You could be thrown off your athletic team. At this point, both of us are starting to have tears in our eyes. We're starting to cry like, oh my God, our parents are gonna kill us. In walks our coach, and she says, gotcha. And we're like, what? Yeah, you guys think you're all that. You're freshmen and you think you're the bigwigs. Just want to bring it down to earth a little bit. So here you go. And the principal's laughing, she's laughing. The two of us are like, oh my God, we're gonna kill you. It was a really great memory though. And those are kind of the things that happened. You know, just a really family feel. It was a great time. My college years were spent at Montclair State College. Right now it's called the University. I played 1 year of field hockey, 3 years of lacrosse, and basketball all my 4 years there. I also was involved in the Rec and Leisure Club, which did like intramural activities and sports. I was the president of that club. It was easy to do that and balance the two because I was a phys ed major, so it was great times. A lot of my time was spent in college was traveling, you know, all over the Northeast and other states to get to play basketball, which was my main sport. Some of my other sports were just great too, just continue feel up from high school. So the question is sometimes asked, did you ever think you would be back at Brick Township High School? My answer was yes. It was something I always knew that would happen, and I really wanted it. And I was so very lucky to have an interview for the job during my spring break of senior year of college. This was back in the day of no cell phones or anything like that. I interviewed over at the Bordeaux office. Then I drove home the 10 minutes home, and in that 10 minutes, there was already a phone call made and a message left on my machine that at my earliest convenience, please come back because we'd like to offer you the job and sign your contract to work at Brick Township Memorial High School. I was like, wow, how lucky am I? Brick Township Memorial was really comfortable at the time working there because so many teachers had left here to go teach there when it opened up in 1981, which was the year that I graduated from here. So it was interesting to work with so many of my fellow teachers. They made it really comfortable and easy for me to return as an employee. Then in 2008, I was transferred here to Brick Township High School, and my brain went to, finally, I returned to where I always wanted to be and where I knew I would belong and where it would happen someday. Here at the high school, I'm not as involved as I was at Memorial because I've aged. At Memorial, I was coaching 3 seasons, lots of sports. Here, I officiate sports outside of school, both field hockey and lacrosse, so that keeps me pretty busy. So in school, I mostly focus on the multiply disabled kiddos. I teach, I help a lot with the Interact Club and do a lot of after-school activities with that demographic of students. So that's where my main focus is here at Brick Township High School. I do also teach freshmen, and I also teach juniors. I like the difference of grades. Freshmen are kind of hyper, and you never really know what's going to happen every day. And juniors are a little more mature. They know how to handle themselves, and they can take directions a lot better. To be back here is amazing. What I love about being here at Brick Township High School is the family feel, and that's the staff as well as the students. Everyone feels like they belong here. Everyone is respected by teachers and students alike, and everyone knows here that you can go to any teacher at any time for anything. The students respect each other, and I feel that it's just this, I feel like I'm home, which I am, because it's being in the same building and seeing the same halls and the same locker rooms and the same classrooms that I spent so much time with. The reason I had such a great time here and all of my years here was because I was involved. And if I can give you any advice, be involved. It may be theater, it may be bands, it may be sports, it may be all of the above. All right, be involved. Having a feeling of belonging to something makes you want to do well academically, and it makes you feel like you had the full high school experience when you move on to college.